Dog found a meat bone for the first time. It ran excitedly down the street, but the next second, the bone was knocked flying. The dog rushed into the crowd to search. Seeing the bread in the woman's hand, its mouth watered. An army unit passed by. Seeing its pitiful state, rookie soldier Robert pulled a biscuit from his pocket and tossed it to the dog. Because of that biscuit, the dog believed following Robert would mean food. It followed the scent all the way to the training grounds. The clever dog dug a hole in the ground and crawled through the crack. Following the scent, it reached the barracks kitchen and discovered a table laden with ribs. But before the dog could open its mouth, the cook chased it out. Frightened, it dashed outside, only to accidentally bump into Robert. Recognizing the familiar scent, the dog confirmed this was the kind soul who fed it. It crouched beside Robert, refusing to leave. Robert tried to shoo it away, but the dog accidentally let out a bark, drawing the officer over. Seeing the mutual gaze between Robert and the dog, the officer assumed it was Robert's dog, and instructed him to look after it. When the officer conducted training, the dog struck a perfect military posture, earning the officer's deep affection. After days of wandering, the dog finally found a place to call home. The dog began camp life alongside Robert. Its intelligence and docility won everyone's affection. Gradually, the dog integrated into their routines. Robert even gave it a name, Stubby. But soon after, as war erupted, they, as new recruits, had to head to the front lines. As they prepared to depart, Stubby burrowed into Robert's backpack, hoping to leave with him, but Robert fastened a leash around its neck and entrusted it to the army cook. Watching Robert's retreating figure, the dog struggled desperately to break free. Following the scent, Stubby made its way to the train station. Robert's train had already started moving. The dog raced along the tracks, leaping onto the rear of the train. Spotting Robert boarding a ship, the clever Stubby hid among the cargo, and successfully boarded the vessel too. He made his way to the soldiers' quarters, using his keen sense of smell to find Robert.
Stubby? How'd you get here? Where did you come from? How did you get here?
To avoid detection by their commander, Robert stashed him in his backpack, intending to take him away. But just then, they encountered their commander. Facing the colonel, Stubby mimicked Robert's actions and saluted the colonel. The colonel, who had intended to reprimand them, politely returned the salute, and ordered them to attach a dog tag to Stubby. Thus, Stubby officially joined the military. When they arrived at the smoke-filled battlefield, they realized war was far more terrifying than imagined. Braving cold and hunger, they finally awaited dawn's arrival, only to face a sudden enemy ambush. As the smoke cleared, Stubby seemed to sense something. He charged out recklessly, digging frantically at a mound of earth, then let out a loud bark. His cry instantly drew the soldiers over. Inside lay a buried casualty. This marked only the beginning of Stubby's countless battlefield feats. That very day, while accompanying Robert on reconnaissance, Stubby discovered enemy forces preparing to launch poison gas shells. They must return immediately to warn their lines, but were spotted by an enemy soldier. In the critical moment, Stubby sensed danger and pushed Robert to the ground. The warhorse, startled by gunfire, bolted away. Robert could only pin his hopes on Stubby. He produced his gas mask, signaling for Stubby to deliver the warning. Stubby instantly understood Robert's intent. He charged toward the battlefield at full speed. Upon reaching the front lines, Stubby frantically tugged at the officer's gas mask. The officer recognized the impending danger and immediately sounded the alarm. Stubby then dropped the gas masks on the ground, using them to warn the soldiers of the approaching threat. The enemy's poison gas shells began firing. Green smoke instantly filled the sky. Stubby rushed back to the village to warn the villagers. They immediately donned gas masks and sealed their doors and windows. Robert also returned just in time. He brought Stubby inside. His comrades fetched a wet towel to cover its face. Thanks to Stubby's help, everyone escaped unharmed. It became the hero who saved them all. Yet the enemy launched another fierce attack. Stubby dashed out regardless of the danger, charging through a hail of bullets. Amidst the ruins, Stubby discovered a wounded soldier. He signaled to his comrades, but the enemy fire was too intense. They couldn't reach him. The commander ordered soldiers to deploy smoke grenades. Under the cover of the smoke, they successfully rescued the casualty. Villagers even tailored a military coat for Stubby, and he was given a custom gas mask. Soon after, they moved to the next battlefield. Stubby barked frantically at his comrade, urging him to secure his helmet. He had detected the enemy's scent. Stubby dashed forward, barked several times at the enemy, then sprinted away. By the time the enemy closed in, Robert and his comrades had already set an ambush. Through their coordinated effort, they successfully subdued the 3 enemy soldiers. However, in an accident, the brave and intelligent Stubby was wounded. A grenade suddenly landed near the soldiers. Without hesitation, Stubby picked it up in his mouth. With a deafening explosion, Stubby lay dying amidst the rubble. Robert picked up Stubby and rushed to find the army surgeon. Deeply moved by the dog's heroic deed, the surgeon agreed to take him back for treatment. After Stubby left, Robert missed him dearly, often seeing the dog's figure on the battlefield. Due to enemy advances, they were forced to relocate their position. Stubby, his injuries healed, left the hospital, and set out alone to find Robert. When he returned to the battlefield, Stubby didn't know Robert had already departed. He searched every corner of the battlefield, but found no trace of Robert. Meanwhile, Robert had contracted a deadly flu. Stubby seemed to sense Robert's call, because his body hadn't fully recovered. Stubby collapsed time and again from exhaustion, yet he got back up each and every time. The gravely ill Robert dreamed countless times of Stubby returning, and this time, Stubby truly came back. Comrades had found him in the grass, and brought him back to camp. He stayed by Robert's side through the agonizing illness. Finally, Robert's condition improved. Together, they returned to the battlefield. During the night patrol, Stubby suddenly dashed outside. He spotted a strange soldier, and clamped down on his clothes with all his might. It turned out to be an enemy spy. Fortunately, Stubby caught him in time. Finally, news of the ceasefire arrived, along with the call for their last battle. When the smoke cleared, Stubby picked up a helmet, looking lost. Bullet holes pierced its rim. It belonged to the comrade who had rescued Stubby, now fallen in battle. After the war ended, they returned home safely. For his repeated acts of valor on the battlefield, Stubby was promoted to the rank of sergeant. His heroic deeds became a legendary tale for generations.